Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I am the introverted reader, although right now you could probably call me the freezing reader because it's very cold in the UK. It's snowing. It snowed this morning. Like, I looked at my back garden and it looked like a Christmas card. But yeah, and I'm wearing my Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie, which I'm not taking off because like I said, I'm cold, and it actually fits that I'm wearing this because I'm doing a Disney themed book tag for today's video. And this was originally created by Kat over at Catty-tastic, and if you know who she is one of the OG YouTubers. So this was created by her, and there's also some added additional questions that was put in by Christine, aka Attic Steenmay, or Paul and Banana's Books, if you want to call her that. So yeah, shout out to the two of them, the two OG booktubers. So let's hydrate and answer some questions. And if you've yet to hydrate today, please do so. Anyway, so the first question is for The Little Mermaid, a character who was out of their element, or a fish out of water, if you will. And one character that I had in mind for this was our main character from Legendborn. Her name is Bree, and that story is basically about her discovering that she has powers that she never knew that she had, and she gets like roped in to this crazy magical world. And you know, because that book is sort of based, it's like playing on it's got elements from the legend of King Arthur, so there's all of that. And also, like, she's discovering that she has magic, and then just like having to, you know, join up with like the rest of the Legendborn and trying like navigating all the politics within that world. It's crazy. And she she has absolutely no idea what's happening, what's going on, and it's stressful, like completely fish out of water. So yeah, and then question 2, Cinderella, a character who goes through a major transformation. Now for this one, I'm gonna go with Linus from House in the Cerulean Sea, because at the beginning of that book, Linus is you know, he is a work, eat, sleep type of guy. Like, he doesn't go out and socialize. He doesn't, have any friends. You know, he goes to work, comes home, has some dinner, goes to bed, gets up, goes to work, blah, blah, blah. And then the organization that he works for basically goes out to various children's homes and makes sure that all these kids are doing well and being looked after. And he goes to this one particular house with these magical children, and he spends time with them. He gets to know them, and he realizes that he falls for, if you'll pardon me saying this, but he falls in love with the house and with the kids, and in particular the man who is like in charge of them. He's called Arthur, and the two of them form the sweetest relationship. It's so beautiful. And then, you know, he finds himself. He realizes that the place that he works for is just absolutely full of disgusting bigotry, and just overall it's just wrong. The system is just wrong, and it's such a beautiful story. And if you haven't read it, highly recommend. Let me see. Snow White, a book with an eclectic cast of characters. I'll say cast of the Mortal Instruments, all pretty eclectic in there. House of Night, and all the Percy Jackson crew, like Percy Jackson, the Olympians, and as well Heroes of Olympus. More Heroes of Olympus, really, because that's when, like, you know, the two camps are like come together and they're all coming together to defeat one enemy. So let's remember that. Number 4, Sleeping Beauty, a book that put you to sleep. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. Legends and Lattes, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. The first one I read in its entirety, and it was just well, I had a lot of issues with that book, but and then Legends and Lattes was honestly just really boring. And Ariadne by Jennifer Saint was honestly really boring and confusing as well. So yeah, there's that. Number 5, question 5. The Lion King, a character who had something traumatic happen to them in childhood. Well, if that isn't just every character that I've ever read in YA ever. I had a few in mind, but I think to save me from repeating myself, I'm gonna say Charlie from Heartstopper. Well, really, any main characters from Alice Oseman's books, really, because I don't think there's any one of their characters that hasn't gone through something. But I'm gonna stick with Charlie because it's not really something that happened to him as a child, like via his parents or anything. It was because he got outed against his will, which is traumatic enough. And then going through all the bullying, and then obviously, if you know Charlie's story, it's a lot more, there's a lot going on with our Charlie. And after like reading. Honestly, I nearly teared up reading volume 5 of Heartstopper. I won't lie to you. As if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Let me see. And number 6, Beauty and the Beast. A beast of a book, or a big book, that you were intimidated by, but found the story to be beautiful. A big book that I was intimidated by, it's been years since I've read this book, but I read Priory of the Orange Tree, which was definitely a book that I was intimidated by. I don't remember much about that story. I remember there being dragons. There's a sapphic relationship in there. There's magic in there. And yeah, there's parts of it that were beautiful. There's parts of it. Oh, what other, like, oh, the Daevabad trilogy. Now, all three, obviously it's a trilogy, it's not one big book. But I mean, all 3 of the books are chunky, but like that whole trilogy, if you have not read the Daevabad trilogy, get up on it. It's beautiful. Aladdin. So we're on question 7, which is Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or for worse. Evangeline from Once Upon a Broken Heart. Oh, she made a wish all right. Oh, she made a wish all right. Woo. I'll not dwell too much on each question. I so not here for ages. Number 8, Mulan, a character who pretends to be something or someone they are not. Now, I'm not like, again, this book I'm about to mention, I have some issues with. I read it ages ago. I've since unhauled it. But Camp by L.C. Rawson. Now, this book, it's about this kid, and he goes to this gay summer camp every year with all of his friends, and he is more of an effeminate type of boy, right? He likes wearing makeup and nail polish, he keeps his hair long and stuff. He's a little on the chubby side, but then he has a crush on this boy that goes to the camp as well, but this boy doesn't really, he's a mask for mask type of guy. He's a mask for mask type of guy. And and listen, this book is actually really quite problematic, but I mean, don't be debating with me in the comments. I'll stand where I stand. And anyway, so our main character, he changes a lot about himself. He cuts his hair, he loses weight, he pretends that he's not into theater or any of the other things that he actually does like he hides that part of himself in order for this boy to like him. And which, don't do that. But yeah, that one. Again, I have a lot of issues with that book, but whatever. Question 9, Toy Story, a book with characters you wish would come to life. Oh, well, I listen, call me a basic woman, but I've been waiting to be a shadow hunter since I was like 17, and like, when's it gonna happen? Like, when? Like, and the House of Night, honestly, as well, I would love to actually be a real place, because it sounds wonderful. Again, call me a basic woman, but I don't care. Question 10, Disney Descendants. Your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character? Oh, well, I'm gonna pick 2, and these 2 are from the same world, different books, but same world. Kaz Brekker and the Darkling. I've said this before, but I fully think that the Darkling is one of the best written villains that I've read, in young adult in particular, because young adult's not really famous for its villains. It's not. It doesn't really do well with the villainy. But the Darkling, I was actually low-key kind of rooting for him. I was like, you go off. You go off. I see what you're doing. Because I believed in him. I believed what he was doing. And as far as morally ambiguous, Kazbrecker. Can you get any more morally ambiguous than Kazbrecker? I don't think so. Don't at me. I will not be taking comments. So that's the end of all Kat's questions. Now the next two are Christine's add-ons. So she added on one that's Hercules, a book that inspired you and made you a stronger human. I could probably make an entire video about all the books that I feel like changed me as a person. But off the top of my head, I feel like the Aristotle and Dante duology, I feel like really changed me. Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn inspired me. Under the Whispering Door really like spoke to my heart. Boy Like Me by Simon James Green really spoke to me as a person. So again, I could probably make a whole video and go into additional detail about that. And if you would like me to do that, let me know. And the last question, no, not the last question. Next question is Up, a book that you have no idea what the title and cover was about, but you love it after reading it. Oh geez. Well, when I first picked up Wings of Ebony, I had no idea what to expect from that at all. Let me see. Belladonna. I don't have a physical copy of her, but Belladonna, I remember some things that I was told about it. All I remembered was that she forms a romantic attachment with death, and I was like, okay, go off. And I recently read it there a while ago, and it's amazing. Okay, this is the last question. Is it? Yeah. The last question, 13, is Frozen, a pair of book siblings that you absolutely love. Now, the ones I'm going to mention aren't related by blood, but they form a relationship and they love each other like brother and sister. I'm going to say Kenji and Juliet from Shatter Me, which again might sound like the most basic answer, but I love the two of them's relationship. I really, really do. And there's another one. Let me see. Damien and Zoe from House of Night. Obviously, Damon is gay, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. But, you know, they form a great relationship, you know, like brother and sister. Wei Wuxian and his senior sister from Grandmaster. Again, not technically related by blood, but I love their relationship. I love their relationship so much. So yeah, that is the end of the Disney book tag. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to do this video yourself, consider yourself tagged and be sure to let me know what your answers were if you decide to make a video. So yes, that's it from me. All my socials are down below as always, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to ring the bell. I make videos every Tuesday and every other Saturday. So be sure that you're here for all of that shenanigans. Anyway, I'm going to go make lunch because it's like 1 o'clock. I need to go. So yes, I'm going to shut up and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.